he should be here in a little while. Some people are coming in a little bit late today.
Isn't he in Costa Rica or something?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he posted something on Facebook this morning. He was in like Costa Rica. So it was a picture off the beach.
Maybe it was Costa Mesa, which is a little bit closer to him.
No, it's not Costa Mesa.
Not Costa Mesa. Unbelievable. Because it was Costa something. Maybe he joined the Cosa Nostra. I have no idea where he is.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, he's always on
the mafia.
He's on the flower power.
He's wearing lead shoes somewhere and concrete boots or whatever it is. Concrete galoshes. That's it.
Domengione, he knows a little bit about the Cosa Nostra.
Well, maybe he'll come in and talk about it. But here's the interesting thing. He keeps sending me these links from Adam Carolla, and Adam Carolla is interviewing this guy. And it turns out, and maybe you can validate this, but it seems like there's only one guy that's building on the beach right now. And the only reason he's able to build on the beach is because he got the permits before the fire.
Right. He was the one guy who was building before the fire happened.
Right.
Yeah, I saw that one. That was 3 or 4 months ago, but I haven't seen anything since.
We had the same case. We had the same case on our street where there was a building in progress. And so they as soon as the fire was out and everybody was allowed to get back in, they just restarted. But it's just a clusterfuck kind of in general. So
talk about it. So so now you are in the Pacific Palisades, and is there any building going on anywhere around you? Is anybody doing anything?
Are we live right now, Jan? You should introduce the show.
Oh, well, welcome. Thanks a lot. Hey, welcome to Thinking Out Loud with Friends of SoundBroker. This is the 305th episode, consecutive weeks in a row. Man, it's been a long time we've been doing this, and I love it. Nothing like waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning to be fresh and bright and bushy-tailed and be here with you guys, and I love it. And so I'm very happy to say that everything you hear today is an opinion, especially everything that I say is an opinion. Anyway, also I want to give a shout out to Greg Baker, who is right now in I think it's Titusville, and he actually sent me a photo of the Artemis on the launch pad because I guess he's our human mic stand. And,
wow.
So he's there with the Artemis launch. Did anybody see it?
I saw a video, but apparently it's
on its way. Ralph Krenn had sent it to Alice. To the moon, baby, to the moon.
It didn't blow up, so that's a good thing.
That's a great thing. I mean, it's kind of interesting.
With all the leaks they've had in all of their stuff, I was a little worried about it.
That is a huge rocket ship. Huge.
They got to have a lot of propulsion to get them out there and get them back.
Yeah, and they're going to be the furthest away from Earth of any man, right? Is that the whole deal? When they go to the backside of the moon?
I don't know.
Well, no, I mean, when they went around the moon, what's his name? When he was up there spinning around, he was the furthest out there.
No, they're going further on purpose. They're going farther past the dark side of the moon.
Yeah, and they're playing the Star Trek theme song to go further than any man has ever gone. There you go. So they have a long way to go.
Floyd is playing a show on the backside, so that'll be pretty cool.
Did you see the pictures from Voyager?
No, tell us about it.
I just saw a blurb in one of my tech briefs the other day that there's a
angel just got his wings, Fred. Thank you. Hey, Curt. Hey, Duane, how's it going, guys?
Apparently, Voyager still has a camera that's working, and there was some very interesting images from beyond our universe. Well,
they say there are aliens amongst us. From other planets or something along those extraterrestrials. However, nobody has any proof of it, although some people have thought I'm kind of strange. But that doesn't have anything to do with the reality. I mean, they're saying there's things that they can't explain. pilots, Navy boats, things like that, anal probes, all of these things. What do you guys think? You think this, are they amongst us?
You can spot them because they have a propeller sticking out of their head.
He's right in the center of the screen.
I think they rolled up the windows on the way by, and then we're good.
The whole problem with the thesis of getting here is that they obviously have a propulsion system that we don't understand. Einstein basically says as mass approaches the speed of light, it becomes infinitely large, and we haven't been able to get past that. So if it's true and you can't travel faster than the speed of light, that's a rule of physics, so how on earth are these people traveling such enormous distances? That's
Warp
the
factor.
question.
Warp factor 5, warp factor 6.
Well, that's the whole thing.
They
never explained how warp works, but in under what we understand in particle physics,
it's a wormhole.
Yeah, that's it. There has to be some other way to travel fantastically large distances rapidly that we don't
travel
understand.
the distance, you bend to space. That's the difference.
Yeah, that tesseract. Yeah. But
the relativity theory of time, and I believe it is, if you don't know the time and someone near you is wearing a watch, then you do know the time. But you have to believe them. That's all there is to it. Speaking of time, have you realized that you could practice this on your own, experiment on this your own. If you ever watch somebody in the real world look at their watch, and then 2 seconds later you say, "Excuse me, could you tell me what time it is?" I guarantee you they will re-look at their watch to tell you. Why is that?
Here, I've got one that you can saute your brains on. Without movement, there is no time.
Yeah.
So singularity, which is what is supposed to have existed before the universe, would have been in a state of no movement, because you can have time without movement.
And now they're saying the universe is expanding rapidly, much faster than they thought.
That's right. Yeah, I read that.
Yeah. And I really love, if you're not familiar with Brian Cox, there are 2 guys that I love, Neil deGrasse Tyson and Brian Cox, and they're a little bit different. And I would love to see a YouTube video of these 2 guys, talking about life in general. But Neil deGrasse Tyson, it seems just what a brain this guy is. He's just impressive as hell. So if you don't know who he is, you should. Wayne, you have Neil deGrasse Tyson down there, right? You have videos, you've seen him, you know who I'm talking about?
No, I know the other fellow though, Brian Cox. He's really good. I probably have watched documentaries because I like all that stuff, so I get it. But the Brian Cox ones, he just explains it in layman terms.
I like the way he explains it. He says, that light travels faster than sound. That's why, some people, when you get there, they appear bright until they speak.
I beg to differ with that, because every time we're loading out, we're always out before the lighting guys.
Nice.
So anyway, let's go back to Christopher and the recap of Pacific Palisades. And then if Duane's still in the room, I would love to hear what's going on. I hear some new stuff is happening over there with DFeedback, and maybe you could share some of that with us as well. So anyway, let's do it. Chris?
Oh yeah, no, just briefly, more construction is occurring than was previously occurring, and they're kind of expecting a big rush of permits around now. And the rebuild will begin in earnest, but I happen to know a guy that whose house survived, and he lives down on the bluff, and the question is, do you really want to move back, right now, and basically live in your house while everything around you is decimated. There's no food shopping. Only one or two restaurants are open, and it's going to be hammer meets nail 24/7, down there. I mean, do you really want to live there at the moment? It's it's a really awful situation. So that's basically it. We have applied for a permit, so we'll see how long that takes. It's supposed to be 45 to 60 days, I believe, is where they're running about average.
Well, it
And
seems they're very slow in regards to that. I mean, I'm
well,
sorry that you have to
that
go through all
actually,
this.
so that's a like for like permit where you're basically building on the same footprint and all that. If you were to want to build a brand new house with a brand new design, you're looking at anywhere from 9 to 14 months for a permit. So big difference.
Right.
Because
Right.
you'd have to go through coastal and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So Curt, you're in Seattle. Did the price of gas go up again since last week?
I think so. Yeah, I filled up.
Diesel?
Well, I filled up my Tundra yesterday, and it stopped. The pump stopped at $150, and I still had about a quarter tank to go. So it's about 5.99 or 98, and diesel's
Right.
6.99.
Oh yeah,
0.9
the
cents or
price
something.
of diesel is nuts.
Oh yeah.
It's insane. I saw it at $8.99 somewhere the other day.
Yeah,
Well,
I
diesel
mean,
is the last thing they make out of the fuel system. Diesel is at the very bottom of it all. I believe, no, asphalt is the bottom, but diesel is right above asphalt when these petrochemicals come out.
I thought diesel was easier to make.
Not that I know of. And jet fuel. Has anybody bought an airplane ticket lately? Has anybody been flying lately?
Yeah,
Correct?
I flew a couple times. Yeah, I got a couple of jobs coming up.
And now is TSA back to normal? Is everything back to normal?
My neighbor across the street went home to Ohio for Passover, and she said that the terminal was empty. I don't know what airline she was in, but Terminal 3 at Phoenix was empty.
I had a couple of friends that flew out of LAX. They said that it's pretty good. Atlanta has been backed up. A couple of airports have been backed up. Apparently Burbank is rapid, but I got to go to Vegas next week. I'll actually be out there for the Meyer demo, but I'm driving. I'm not going to even
The
take the risk.
Tigra, right? Tigra is coming in.
Tigra
I'd like to get somebody from Meyer to talk about that, because the next one I have programmed is Robert Scoble to talk about the EAW, the new EAW boxes that he's been working on.
Yeah, they've
and
got
I'm looking
Tigra
for
and
other.
they've got the 18 LFC, which is basically a redo of the 900.
Yeah. But to be blunt with you guys, I've been very, very busy with my personal life and reorienting what I have to do, with the sale of the house. It's really taken a lot of time from me just to get reorganized in life about all the things that you got to do when you sell a house,
It finally went through.
Oh yeah, March 11th it closed. So very exciting.
Congratulations, buddy.
Two old ladies.
I think I got really lucky, and the aspect of I timed the market at the pinnacle, now it's my real estate agent who sold the house tells me that she hasn't sold the house since mine.
Yeah, no, there was an article, I can't remember in what publication, but they're basically just saying that Vegas is just really hitting the wall. They showed a video of some guy running around in the interior of the MGM. So does anybody want to guess what a takeaway cheese pizza, 14-inch cheese pizza is inside the MGM?
$35.
150.
$47.
Yeah, and they're saying that the pricing right now is, I saw this article in the New York Times, I believe is where I saw it, is that they say that Las Vegas is really hurting right now for numerous reasons. Number one is that all the Canadians are gone. There's no more Canadians coming or microscopic amount of Canadians coming. And they were the biggest. Who knew that they were the biggest tourist section to Las Vegas? But on the other hand,
I had no idea. That's wild.
Yeah, I always thought the Japanese and Chinese were.
Yeah, I would have said Asia, Southeast Asia, more than Canada. That's crazy.
Well, this is like Ripley's Believe It or Not. You know, what can I tell you?
Do your own research.
Do your own research. You know, The Onion. You know,
don't believe a word that he says. Do your own research.
All right, Curt needs to start his new business then. If you're getting $47 for a pizza, what can you get for one of your fancy pizzas?
Well, the reason those pizzas are so expensive is because there's so much oil on them.
Well, there you go.
There you go. And the other thing that happened in Las Vegas is they just announced that they are going to be doing the Super Bowl, I think in 2029. Is that it?
Yep.
They got the Super Bowl. And they might get an expansion NBA team.
Yeah, them and us.
Yeah. So that's pretty amazing, you know. But then who wants to live now in where you're living? They're going to be hitting the millionaire tax. I mean, did that really go through? And what are people saying what are people saying that live in Washington, the state of Washington?
Well, some people are concerned that the athletes aren't going to want to sign here. So that's one thing. And then
so what is this? I didn't hear about this.
Yeah, can you just briefly summarize? I'm unaware of this.
I don't know it that well, but
well, you'll be affected. Anyone who makes over $1 million, you know, there you go, is going to be taxed at 9%.
1 million. I think it might be higher than that. I think it might be 10 million, but I'm not really sure.
It's 1 million. Do your own research. But the reality is that I was under the impression, and tell me if I'm wrong here, but I believe that the state of Washington doesn't have income tax.
No income tax.
And so because of that, this is going to go right to court because this is an income tax, which would be banned by your state constitution.
Yeah, I'm sure it will go. They've tried to do income tax a lot of times, and it never works. And just because you're narrowing the focus, I still think it probably won't work.
Now, I have a question for you, Curt. It has nothing to do with what we've been talking about. Is the background we're looking at, is that a real background or is that a virtual background?
Mine? That's my living room.
So my question is, how are you able to keep that helium balloon up for so long?
Oh, we were just talking about that last night. It's been like 2 months and it hasn't crapped out yet. I don't know. It's like the toughest helium balloon from Valentine's Day ever.
You might be able to sell it for big money because I hear helium's hard to get now.
Yeah, we're hanging on to the helium.
The straits
he actually glued it to the ceiling, so he just can't.
No, it's the real thing.
That's cool. So anyway, Duane, are you there?
Hello.
I think he's doing his books right now. I did mine earlier today.
He's muted.
He looks very, very intense on what he's doing. Looks like, you know, he's trying to count his money and
he just can't count, but he's muted.
He's muted.
He just can't count that high, you know?
He's muted, Jan.
Oh, yes. I can unmute him. There it goes. Hey, there buddy. What's going on?
Back. Yeah. I'm making payroll taxes.
Oh, you don't use QuickBooks for that or ADP?
Well, I still write the checks.
Right.
Physical checks to pay them. So to mute my sadness, I thought I'd join you guys tonight.
You and Barry Manilow, I write the checks that make my employees sing.
Yeah. We're not a big enough company for me to have I used to have an accountant that did all this stuff, but now I'm semi-retired. We've downsized. So I am just doing basically all the accounting right now. So anyway, that's where
I use ADP to write my payroll checks. And it's much, you know, they do it really quickly, easy. It's like $30 a month, something like that. And and they also file my taxes for me with the state, which is amazing. But I've downsized too. and they keep writing me, "Are you still in business?" Because I don't take a paycheck now, so they keep wondering whether. But they keep charging me that $30. And now they're charging me $30 a quarter when there's no checks, so it's a good deal. Also, I hear there's another service, and I want to say it's called Wisp, but I can't remember the name of it, that a lot of people are talking about as well. Anyway, talk about what's going on with the Sun and the Alpha Sound DFeedback. What's new and exciting in that world?
Well, from what I hear, Devin's been in Mexico for the last 2 weeks, just got home the other night. And the new computer is plugging away on version 2. So I'm not real sure what where it's happening on that. We've had a couple of other projects that we're also working on. And I don't know what computer he's using for. He might be using the original computer to work on some of those. And so haven't really had much of a chance to talk to him. I was out of town till last night, but we do have a little install we're doing tomorrow. So I'll get a chance to talk to him tomorrow on our trip. It's about an hour trip up and about an hour trip back. So we'll chat tomorrow and kind of see where we're at. But things are going well. I mean, it's just from what I can tell online, if you check out the DFeedback Facebook page, a lot of people are using it with seemingly good success. I know some of the guys here, I think, have tried it out and used it. So it's he gets a lot of texts and emails too from people who are out there using it. And so far so good. It seems to be humming along. We've got some people, since NAMM that we're discussing some things with, but we haven't done anything yet on that. We're still in kind of early discussions about which way to go and who to go with and so on and so forth. So
very, very cool. Well, you heard it here first.
Somebody who's supposedly friends with Devin started a Mac DFeedback group on Facebook yesterday or today. So there's now 2.
Right. There's a Mac only. Yeah. And the Mac thing is such that, from what I hear from Devin, is that I mean, him and the coder have been looking into it, and they can't seem to find out really why. I think he made a comment today on it too, as to why it works on some and doesn't work on others. It's just it's a total hit and miss.
It seems to be the 4s and 5s that seems to be working for whatever reason, but anything below that, it's...
Yeah, some people have luck with it and other people don't. And so, he's had people, basically he's requested people, okay, if it works for you, let me know what you're doing and, give me exact specifications. And if it doesn't, so that we can try to figure out exactly what's going on and, maybe eventually get it. But it's just, there's a lot of issues with Mac as far as particularly for this particular program. So I'm not a computer guy. I don't understand it. I pick up some stuff on the Facebook page, but other than that, I don't really know that much about it. So, and what I hear from Devin, he just said, we're working on it, but, a lot of it is we don't really understand why it doesn't work on some and works on others. So,
well, the challenge with the Mac right now is you got 2 different versions of Mac. You've got the Intel version, and you also have the Silicon version. That's number 1. And number 2, you can configure the Mac in so many different ways, depending on how much memory you have, how much hard drive space you have, in that respect. So and plus the Mac sandbox everything. So it is a different beast than Windows. But although there are still people using Windows 95, which is insane when you think about it, how long ago that software came out. So it's always possible. Now, at the risk of violating the sanctity of the back lounge, but I don't think I'm violating anything secret about Sully, he used the DFeedback at SoFi, Fred? Is it SoFi, SoCal? So whatever. For a comedian, Gabriel, Fluffy the comedian. And that was packed. Broke all attendance records. And here's a comedian talking in a baseball stadium. I mean, and he said he was able to get more dB out of the vocal mic and no feedback. I mean, it's crazy.
Didn't make the guy any funnier though.
He's funny. We're
working on that. We're trying to get a lot of the training material on good comedians.
So it only lets the funny jokes.
Go.
It only lets the funny jokes come through the microphone.
Yeah.
That's it. Yes. Hey, Greg, what do you want to say, bud? You have your hand up?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, everybody. Hi, guys. Good to see you. Duane, you might want to remind Devin that I did introduce him. I did give him a contact to a person from Europe who's spent entire career programming Macs on all platforms. He does put together machines that are operating on a PC parts, but with Mac system, and build completely up to the specifications computers that are operating 24/7, 12 months out of the year for the biggest studios, musical studios, TV stations, and radio stations in entire Europe. And some of them are operating in the US. He can actually direct you exactly if one is building a computer, for example, direct you exactly what parts to buy, and then he will program the firmware and the software. He has worked with the feedback. He said it worked for him. He was able to fire it up and in all versions. So Devin may want to get in touch with him because he, I believe, I'm very much positive, has solutions for him. So if you love to, I can just private chat you my contact, and I can send you that email with his.
Well, I know
contact.
He's been talking to people around the world. I mean, he's sent me a couple of different people that I know he's been talking with. He may already be talking with them. Yeah, go ahead and if you sent that to him, I will ask him about it tomorrow when I see him.
He did not reach out because I'm actually trying to put something that will reflect the Nuke computer because they are sold out, the ones that I actually need. He's going to put one together for me, but I'm actually going to buy parts here in the US, and he will program everything for me back in Europe and send it to me. So yeah, if anybody's interested as well, I can definitely give you the contact.
Okay, that's very nice. That's good.
Appreciate it.
That's cool. That is really, really cool. That's very nice of you, Greg. We all appreciate that.
Yeah, people are having various levels of success. There was a guy today on the DFeedback page that was had 3 different computers, and he was running 41 instances because he wanted had a drama production. I don't know if you guys saw that, and he wanted to have every mic on its own instance. And so, guys that are a little more computer savvy are finding ways to to make it work on on a standard computer. It's just that Devin is so picky about stuff. He doesn't want to certify or put his name on anything until he's 100% sure it's rock solid. So,
well, that's why
I understand the guy.
Head and shoulders above the rest. I mean, he's real. It's a reputable situation he's built for himself, and his credibility is off the hook, man. I'm really happy that he came on the show, and I'm so happy for his success and your success as well. I got a question for you though. Did Yamaha pay you to wear that shirt? I mean, I have to, if there's any endorsements going on.
I was a little cold, and so I saw the long sleeved one in the closet, so that I grabbed it. So that's why I happen to be wearing this particular one, only because it's a little cold up here in my office. I keep the heat at 60 4 to try to save a little. I'm cheap. Just
it's a smart thing to do. You know, when I would, especially right now, because electric is getting up, utilities are more expensive, gasoline, that, you know, power plants, it's much better to, and your blood circulates better when it's cold, you know, but do your own research. That's what I can say.
Yeah, and
anyway,
it's pretty funny in Russia when it gets really cold, refrigerators are actually heaters because the temperature drops below 0, but the refrigerator keeps your stuff from actually freezing. So pretty amazing.
Yeah. I mean, hey, one of my favorite cartoons of all time is it's in the background there are igloos, and it's all icy and igloos, and next to every igloo is a refrigerator, right? And then in the foreground is a boat pulling away with a guy standing up, and the caption is, "That Ralph, he's the best refrigerator salesman the world has known." So I thought it was funny.
Ice to the Eskimos. Yeah.
Yes.
Those Russian refrigerators would be the defrigerator then.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, it's. But I mean, in Canada, I know that in Canada it can get bitterly cold up there, but just bitterly cold.
I got to tell you a story. Okay. So here in Thailand, it is very humid, very, very humid. I mean, right now in the office, if I show you this, you'll see what the temperature is. It's 78 degrees and the humidity is 71%. And I got the air conditioner on. And it's doable when you're up. You can't really feel it. Your skin feels nice, I have to say that. But when I sleep at night at about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, I wake up and I'm congested. And I was convinced that it's because of the humidity. So we went out and bought a dehumidifier. And I was trying to explain to my wife about, you know, humidity and what it is. And she says, how could there possibly be water in the air? We can't see it, you know? And I said, well, you watch. We bought it, and it's got a 4.5 liter bucket that captures the water. And if we turn it on at 8:30, by 11 o'clock, that thing is almost full to the brim, that 4.5 humidity, and it brings the room down from 70 down to 50. And then we empty the bucket out, and then when we wake up, it wakes us up at about 6 o'clock in the morning, because that's when you have to you have to empty the bucket, because then it's full to the brim. And we got the air conditioning on. So it's crazy to see how much water is in the air when you actually see it from a dehumidifier standpoint of view.
Jan, your normal air conditioner should, if it's a refrigerator one, it'll take the specific water content out, just the same as your dehumidifier.
It depends, but yeah, normally it depends if it's a split or a whole unit, but yeah, that in theory it should be throwing out water.
Yes, it does, but it's just so humid that it, you know, I mean, without the air conditioning on, the humidity gets up to 75, almost 80% now.
Oh yeah. I was in Madagascar, and when you turn off the air conditioner, it didn't take more than 5 minutes, and you just feel the heat just coming into the room.
You were lucky. 5 minutes.
Oh yeah. Well, I bet if you turned it off, how long would it take for that room to warm up?
It very, very fast. It's super fast. Less than 5 minutes.
Crazy.
You know, it's almost an instantaneous. Once you turn off the air conditioner, you almost feel it instantaneously when the sun is out. Now, when the sun's not out, it takes a little longer. But the reality, and the interesting thing is that you start to get cool at around 78, 79, whereas you think, you know, in any other city, you would get cool until it was like 75, 74, you know, but here it's much different.
Yeah.
Do you have a screen?
Is everybody using, so Fred, it's really hot where you are, but it's dry. You have to use a humidifier, right?
I do not.
You do not? You like it dry?
I like it hot and dry, yes.
Hot and dry.
80
Very good.
degrees is my comfort level.
And Wayne, what about down in Australia? What's that like?
Well, at the moment, it's beautiful. It's autumn. It's just right here now is just absolutely wonderful. It's about.
What's the weather like? What's the temperature? What's the humidity in here?
It's probably about 25 degrees, 24 degrees. And that's Celsius, of course. And relative humidity is probably about 30% or something like that off the top of my head.
Oh, wow.
Sun's out.
You don't have a thing called the thermometer there? They don't have that down
Not
there?
in my house, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I used to have fancy ones, because I was a refrigeration mechanic. So I had fancy thermometers. I've even got one that'll draw you a graph of the fridge. You put it in the fridge and it'll draw the cycles I had lots of fancy toys long time ago, and still got some of them. Whether they still work or not, I don't know, because I haven't used them.
Right.
But
were those analog or digital thermometers?
They were. Well, one was a digital thermometer. The one that drew the graph was an analog one.
So, do you have a sling psychrometer with a wet bulb and a dry bulb?
I don't know. That was back in the day when I was when I started, and we used to do psychometric charts, and you'd look at the Pacific water content.
What I heard, Riley, was Wayne was the first person with a sextant on his block.
I don't think so.
It's 27% humidity right now, 82 degrees.
So an interesting thing, Jan, in the land of relative humidity, if you change the temperature, the Pacific water in the air doesn't change, just the relative humidity.
That's right.
So the dry bulb and the wet bulb.
Yes, but the temperature changes, so the relative humidity goes up, and but they can have the same amount of water in a cubic meter of air. That's a piece of useless trivia for you.
Brad, have a great week. Maybe we'll see you over at the back lounge if it's open.
Yep, if it opens up, I might be there. See ya.
Okay, great.
See ya.
Stay cool. Yeah, it's all relative, it's all relative. And what about up in Seattle? What's the weather like up there?
49 and light rain.
So now, did
unusual.
The ski lodges up there have a big? Are the ski lodges having a hard time this year up where you are?
I think it started out okay, but we didn't get the snowpack that we would have wanted. So when it comes to wildfire season this summer, it'll be bad. Not on this side, but on the eastern side.
Right.
Yeah,
in Las Vegas, what I read was that they had to close the ski lodges down because the weather was so hot. They had only a couple of weeks of snow, and then it's all melted. And they couldn't even make man-made snow. It was too warm.
That's precisely what happened at Big Bear. So Big Bear didn't get any notable precipitation, snow, and then we had this huge storm front come through California, but it was too warm. So it was actually all the man-made snow that they had made up in Big Bear got washed away with warm rain. And then there was however, that large storm up in the Sierras, they're high enough and far enough north that got cold and they got dumped on in Mammoth. And then several weeks later, another storm came through, and that one was cooler. So they did get snow up in Big Bear and so on and so forth. But like you said, the snowpack lasted for about 3 weeks, and that was it. However, Mammoth got an absolutely I just can't even imagine what the western and eastern slope of the Sierras got a shit ton of snow.
And that is a lot of snow, shit ton.
It is less than a fuck ton, but
that's right. Well, no, I thought a fuck ton was more. But do your own research.
A fuck ton is more. That's right.
But
so they only got a shit ton. They didn't get a fuck ton.
Was it a metric shit ton or?
Well, yeah. It was. That's gonna have to do your own research.
Okay.
There you go.
Where's Big Bear?
Big Bear is in the San Bernardino Mountains, so it's essentially kind of behind Los Angeles, more or less, and then a little bit east.
He's going to Google Earth that and do a walkabout when we get
Yeah,
out.
I am. Yeah. Yeah, that's right,
So-
Mike. Come on over and do a
So, Curt, are
walkabout,
you
huh?
working? Are you working, buddy? Are you busy now? Is this you getting into your busy season?
I'm always working 24/7. Yeah, I mean, we're doing a bunch of prep stuff and maintenance and building shit. I've got some things I'm building for clients that I don't normally do, but I decided to do it. And then a lot of meetings, kind of starting to see what the schedules are going to be. It's interesting because some of the shows that if I look at them on paper right now, I'd think, oh, I'm probably not doing that because they'd be carrying PA. But with the cost of trucking and fuel, if you're going to leave one of the trucks off the list, it's going to be a big thing full of plywood and speakers because you can get that in any region. You know, whether it's Meyer or D&B or acoustics, you can get a world-class line array pretty much in any state or region in the country, but your lighting and your video rigs cannot be built from scratch every day. They have to be pre-engineered to be pre-rigged and all that. So if you had to take all the stuff out, lights out of the cases and put them on the truss and wire them all up, it would take 6 hours every day of just that before you could even fly the truss. So I might end up with more of these stacks and racks shows as the fuel, costs escalate and people have to make hard choices about what they're going to carry. I mean, I don't know any of that for a fact, but I'm kind of preparing myself down the road that we might be doing some of these things that we wouldn't normally do for certain artists.
Well, that seems very logical. What was? I'm sorry, Riley.
Are you going to be investing in Tigras, or is there a midline kind of show level that doesn't require the top end of everything, which is normally what you fly for every show?
I mean, our bigger stuff is Panther. We've got lots of other stuff, but yeah, we're going to get a Tigra rig. I'm not exactly sure where it fits in things right now, but I'm sure once we have it, we'll find appropriate uses for it. It's not
melodies, but lighter.
It's more on the scale of Leopard, but more powerful. As far as size, it's more like Leopard size. It's not quite exactly the same, but it's similar to that. Melody and Lena are much smaller. So it would be an appropriate like offstage hang for Panther.
I like it. A B ring or a C ring.
Sorry, what?
So outlines or delays or whatever you got to fill. Right?
It could be a delay hang if you wanted, but it would be very appropriate if you have like say 12 or 16 Panthers going forward to hang 8 to 12 Tigras as the outfill, to hit the beyond the 95 degree or 90 degree dispersion. Because it's going to have its phased trace and everything is all going to match. It's sonically and the phase response and everything. As far as I know and what I expect, I mean, the map data is not published yet, so I can't model it in map. But knowing the Meyer philosophy, they're going to build it to have the same phase trace or similar phase trace as Panther. That's just kind of how they roll. But yeah, we're gonna get. I think we're gonna get 16 right off the bat, and then we'll kind of take it from there.
And they're a smaller box. They're a smaller box.
It's almost the size of Leopard. It's smaller than Panther.
Oh, okay.
It's 4 dB.
So it'll be replacing the Leopard box.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah.
It's 4 dB quieter than Panther. It's obviously smaller and lighter. It has a tapered top and bottom, whereas Panther is a rectangle. So the front doesn't separate when you change the display. It stays together like a lot of the other earlier Meyer line arrays did. And, I think it's going to be a good product.
Are you going to be going to Las Vegas for the demonstration?
No, because it's the first week of spring break and flights are triple and hotels are triple what they would normally be. And it's a 2-day drive for me. So I'm not doing that. I was going to go, but it doesn't.
Airfare has gotten very expensive.
I'd have to spend, if 2 of us went, it would be about $6,000 to be in Vegas for one night.
That is crazy, and that's without having pizza.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
6,047.
I'm going for the Saturday demo.
I wanted to go, and there are a bunch of people I wanted to meet with. There's all these great reasons I should be in Vegas for this thing, but I can't justify the cost for literally one night in Vegas to go.
Oh yeah, and I booked for a college reunion months ago, so we got really good rates. And then once the whole air thing started happening, I actually just booked another night. I was going to fly in on Friday. Now I'm driving in on Thursday because it's 4 hours from where I am, and that starts to get, what's that, Jan?
If you look at this as the
Oh
dates,
yeah,
Friday,
yeah. I'm
April
going
10th,
to the Friday
Saturday,
at
April
noon.
11th.
Yeah.
And
I'm going, sorry, I'm going
what it looks
Saturday at
like.
noon.
That's what the boxes look like right there, if you could see it.
Yeah, you're getting some reflection on your screen,
yeah.
but
Yeah, that's
it should be pretty cool.
They were what was it? There was some term I can't remember. It was funny, but it was a show product. It didn't have any functioning anything in it. It just let you see what it was going to look like, everything. And we don't have the subs ordered yet, but we'll probably do that because they are flyable. From you can hang Tigra from the new 1800.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to be very curious to hear the 1800 and see what the difference is between. I know they have to interface and all that crap, but is the actual subwoofer sounding distinctively different?
My guess is it's going to be more powerful, and it's going to have a cleaner phase and to some extent amplitude response at the very low end of its frequency range, kind of like 2100 does.
I was just going to say it's probably like the 900 to the 2100. It's going to be it's going to have wicked fast response. Yeah.
I love my 900, so I agree that everything else is a touch better, but the 900s are so musical. So
I've got a pair. I got 900s, and I listened to 2100s, and the 2100s. Okay, I mean, you got it. Everything's a little bit different with the environment, but the 2100s just aren't as soft at low volume as the 900s. The 900s really work very, very nicely, say between 90 and 100 dB. Whereas when you get with the 2100s, it just feels like it's there's like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like more energy and it just isn't as pleasant to the senses as the 900s. I think the 900s are a very nice.
I have X40s over 900s, and it's
that's wow. Exactly what I have. That's exactly what
we do that all the time, especially for corporate. Our 900s, we use them a lot of corporate and smaller shows, like we'll pair them with Melody or something if we're going to do a small truck stage or something for 2,000 people or something like that. It's fine all day long for that. We use them for side fill subs, drum subs, standalone corporate, a lot of that.
Yeah, we were talking about that with Wayne one time, the X80s over 2100s, that would be kind of a very nice package.
We do that.
They had that at the Nashville training.
Woo.
Yeah, you ground stack an X80 on top of two 900s.
They had X80s over three 2100s cardioid at the Nashville training in one of the rooms, and oh my goodness, it was pretty spectacular.
I wanted to come out for that, and then I was talking to Ken at NAMM, and then I got sidetracked and couldn't make it. But I really wanted to. I wanted to come out to Nashville and do that, and then it just didn't work out.
You got to come out. I'll bring you bourbon.
Hey, Gregory, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, Chris. Just finished physical therapy. About to have some dinner and do some more studying. Working on my, what I'm working on.
Yes. Are you still working at the Cirque shows?
I am not working at the surf shows. I am officially not working in the US anymore.
Love the surfboards. Love the surfboards, buddy.
Yes.
San Diego, baby, San Diego.
I am enjoying my vacation period and doing nothing and just relaxing and enjoying my 60 days remaining in the US.
Gregory,
now, are you doing a lot of swimming?
You bet. Every day. Ocean and swimming pool. Ocean just for fun, just for the cold plunge, and swimming pool 3 miles every day. Well, Monday to Friday.
Wow.
Wait,
it's a lot.
Three and a half kilometers. So that not 3 miles. That's you do the math. You do your research.
Yeah, do your own research. That's it. Killing me.
1.8 miles approximately.
Yeah, there you go. That makes more sense.
Times 6 divided by 10. Do your own research.
Thanks for sharing, buddy. Hey, nobody's supposed to learn math.
I'm actually using that line a lot, especially when I'm trying to explain something technical and I do not know everything. That's how I finish my speech, like doing research.
Mm-hmm. And that's very cool. Well, so is anybody here in the room other than me thinking about retiring?
No.
Riley?
Not even a possibility.
Sooner the better.
It's just like
that's the spirit.
As long as I keep enjoying it, I'll keep going. Yeah.
Most of my friends now are retired. Most of my, as a matter of fact, everybody I know here is completely retired except for me, and I am working. And everybody says the same thing when you retire. They say this: first of all, they're busier than they've ever been before in their life. They can't believe how busy they are. And then the second thing they tell me is like, every day is waking up and it feels like Saturday, So I'll let you know when I get to that point. Right now, every day seems like Monday to me.
Oh, no, yeah.
My Saturdays usually consist of loading and unloading and trucking, having a 20-hour day.
So. See, I'm trying to quit that as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So, Gregory, you've got a fan too there.
Say that again.
I have competition.
You have competition.
But his fan is fancy. He's a fancy fan.
The fan. Oh, yeah.
Oh, look at that. Those are looks like palm leaves of some kind. Yeah, that's
a very fancy fan.
Very fancy. Very nice, Greg.
That's fancy fan, fancy man. There you go. So, guys, we're getting close to saying goodbye to everybody on social media.
I'm going to have to go. Cheers, everybody.
Have a great week.
Before we go, does anybody have anything that they want to say to those people in social media land? By the way, we're doing quite well with, we're building up. One day, maybe in another 10 years from now, we'll hit the 1,000 mark of subscribers, but we're getting a lot of views. So I'm really happy about that. And I want to thank everybody for participating. Anybody have anything they want to say?
Happy Easter.
Hey, that's right. Easter's coming up, Anyway, next week, Greg will be here to talk about Artemis, I'm sure. David Dansky's on a cruise to the, he's on one of them rock and roll cruises. He sent me a picture of him dressed as a hippie, with his wife, and their peace, love, and joy cruise somewhere, which is really cool. I'm waiting to hear about that. Kenny is in Las Vegas. It seems like maybe Manilow is going to be performing again, which is pretty amazing. He's preparing. So things are happening out there. And of course, I wish everybody, to stay safe and stay healthy, especially in these times. Just remember, you make it happen. And so if there's anything that anybody wants to say, now's the time.
Stay grounded, be kind to each other. You only have one life.
That's right. Remember, you make it happen. Stay safe and say something to what you will. It's easy for me to say. For those people believing in the string theory, I'm beside myself. You just can't see it. That's funny. Oh, even if I may say so myself. But Doesn't matter. Anyway, just remember, you make it happen. Have a great week, everybody. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you next week for our 306th episode. Oh, and by the way, happy April Fool's Day today. We didn't fool you, but we thought about it. That's for sure. I think I'm going to go right for the onion now. All right. Talk to you guys later. All right. Bye, everybody. And we'll see you soon. We're going to stay in the